we'll have a lot more content coming up. Right now it's just kind of dead, man. Especially with FSU and recruiting, it's like nothing to talk about. Like to even talk about recruiting, right? You could talk about a guy that we got, and then the guy's gone in a week. You could talk about a recruit that's coming in to come visit, and the guy's canceled the visit within like 3 days. It's like
Yeah,
so dead at FSU far as the recruit side. And
yeah. Because when
it is, bro, it's
yeah,
so funny because everybody, so I be in FSU spaces sometimes and I listen to these spaces. And my friend, he's a big FSU fan. And he be like, well, Sam, you gotta understand Mike is having a hard time because the snub and the money in the big two conferences, everybody want to be in the big two conferences. And like he tell me all these things. That's the reason why FSU recruiting bad. And I'd be like, I told him, I said, well, don't you got to get a coach, get somebody that can overcome these things? Because the way you're talking, we gonna be stuck in this like situation forever. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah.
So, but anyway, man, let's get on the recruiting, man. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but we could. I'm gonna let you go off on it, talk about it, and get into some of these players and stuff.
Well, I found it very interesting that over the weekend they seem to have made some traction with two linebackers. You
Okay.
got Dunyon, Fort Fort Paul, out of Georgia. I know he has put Florida State in like his top three now. So and they've been recruiting him for a while now. Matter of fact, not too long ago, Tony White and I believe it was John. I can't ever say his last name right, but and Coach JP, they went to his high school, to go see him, and they
Yeah.
chopped it up with him and everything. He was there this weekend. This weekend was a really big weekend for him. They had a lot of guys in this past weekend for official visits. So he put them in his top three, and then you had the other linebacker that was also they were actually I think they were actually together a little bit, chopping it up. Excuse me, hold on, I lost something right here. Sorry about that. But yeah, Dunya Fort Paul, and then they also got I got to put actually he put Florida State as his top school now, and that's Rodney Colton Jr., the
Okay.
other linebacker. Yeah, they seem to make the most leeway with him because he's now shot the nose up to number one on his list. That was encouraging because of the position that it is. We talked about how they got to get better at recruiting overall, period, but definitely a linebacker. So
Right.
it was encouraging to see that. It's just I kind of have anxiety from what happened this time last year when they were, all in on Tavion Wallace and Gavin Nix and all these other linebackers, and they all went elsewhere.
Yeah. The
Um,
Gavin Nix thing was kind of funny because then his brother come to Florida State, I think, at one time.
I think you might be right.
I
Yeah.
think it was his brother
Uh,
cousin, something like that, was at Florida State at one
yes, yes,
time.
something like that. Somebody close to him was here, something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, so it was encouraging to see, especially two blue chip guys that view Florida State the way they view it. But it's just when you look at the history of what happened last year, how they lost all three of the top guys they were in on at
Right.
linebacker, and then with the history of Novell since he's been here as a recruiter is, as we talked about, he can find the talent, but he can't close. And even when he do get guys, we'll talk about that later with the guy that switched in 27 class. When you get them, they don't stay.
Right.
So like you want to get excited, and it is exciting, but at the same time, you don't want to, be, as far as Florida State goes in the recruiting league, you don't want to be unrealistic about it because they just haven't done well. I mean, they've gotten really good guys, but they've also gotten even better guys and then lost them. So that's the only thing about it. It was just it was so great to see linebackers talking about them like that, but then I have to remember that we still haven't, we haven't gotten over the recruiting hump, and definitely with linebacker, just with that position going back to when Randy Shannon was here, it hasn't been good. So I have to
Right.
kind of temper my excitement. It's like, oh yeah, oh man, let me get some linebackers, but it's like, Like, let me see you close, and not only close, but can you hold on to them? So
Do you
that
think?
was the only
Do
thing
you
about